Hello, my name is Kirath, and today we are going to take a look at the World Eater's Focus. It is the World Eater's turn. I'm aware we've missed Word Bearers. That will be coming out later today. Don't worry, we need to take a look at that Dark Apostle anyway. But it would appear that there is a new chap in here as well. So what we'll do is we'll just have a quick gander down, and we'll have a look at this chap first, the Master of Executions, and. Okay, the axe is solid. I like the axe a lot. The hood is not doing a lot for me, I'll be honest, but I quite like the rest of it. I like the bone motif. It's very much it feels very much like a kind of like a dark mirror of the loyalist chaplain in a way. Obviously a bit more brutal, a bit more excessive, but yeah, that's not a bad model. Personally, I would replace the head with something else. I would choose some sort of helm. I'm not really sure. I think probably just straight up like a World Eater style Sauron pattern helm or something I would go for, as opposed to the weird leather hood. But I actually like the coat, and I like the bones that are all over him. It's very it's very metal. It's very over the top, but it's very well implemented. Obviously, we can't see all the way round the lad, but I do like the look of that guy. That is quite nice. And that axe could be used for so many fun conversions, to be honest. In fact, a lot of that is... It depends on sort of like how that comes together. If it is similar, kind of assembly-wise to the Primaris Chaplain, then there's actually a fair bit you can do with that. Yeah, I do like it. It does... I don't know why. I think it's probably just the coat. The kind of stitched together coat looks very Chaplain-esque, or at least very Primaris Chaplain-esque, but there are some nice touches to that. And I like the use of... I'm assuming those are like talons off some sort of Xenos that have been like welded into the backpack. Using that as a trophy rack, I think, is quite a nice touch, because it's still very chaos. It's still a recognisably chaos thing to do, but it has a different flavour to like the spikes on the Terminators, for instance. It's clearly similar, but not the same, which I do quite like. Yeah, that's a pretty decent model. I quite like that. As I say, I changed the head, but from what I can see, the rest of it, it's really brutal in a way. But I quite like that about it. Yeah, not bad. Anyway, let's have a quick look at the actual thingies. So you know who the World Eaters are. I don't need to explain that to you. We'll just go straight in. So World Eaters get butcher's nails. And grown sons hurl themselves forwards toward their foe, intent on tearing them apart in a brutal whirlwind of violence. When a unit with this trait makes a successful charge, you can make one additional attack with each of its models in the subsequent fight phase. I mean, it's World Eaters, so yeah. Yeah, and then there's the Master of Executions. I do like that. I like it. I can see myself messing about with that model quite a bit. So for this, who needs snipers to eliminate enemy characters when you can do it in the good old-fashioned way with an axe to the neck? Masters of Executions have two useful abilities that make them even better at getting up close and personal with your target of choice, and then horribly killing them, obviously. So Trophy Taker, once per fight phase you can reroll one hit roll, wound roll, or damage roll for an attack made by this model that targets a character. I like that, that's nice and fluffy. And Warp-Sighted Butcher. After the enemy has completed all of their charge moves, this model can perform a heroic intervention if it is within 3 inches of any enemy models or 6 inches of any enemy characters. If this model is within 6 inches of any enemy characters, it can move up to 6 inches when performing a heroic intervention instead of 3 inches, as long as it finishes this move within 1 inch of the nearest enemy character. I actually really like that. I really like that. That really fits the personality of someone who is just driving to kill the most important person on the other team. I really like that combination of abilities. That's fun. That's a nice little addition, and it suits, like, it really suits that model a lot. That combination. Nice. Okay, I'm happy with that. That's cool. Okay, so he has the Axe of Dismemberment, because of course it's called that. Jesus. All right. Melee weapon, obviously. Strength ×2, AP -3, and damage 3. Each time you make a wound roll of 6+ for this weapon, the target unit suffers 1 mortal wound in addition to any other damage. Okay, that's nice. I like that. I feel like a lot of effort's being put into this Master of Executions. That's nice. Yeah, there's some good work on this, lad. Okay, so there's also the Warlord trait, Slaughterborn. This Warlord bears the favour of Khorne, his murderous prowess growing with each worthy skull claimed in his master's name. Add 1 to your Warlord's attacks and strength characteristics each time he slays an enemy character, monster, or Titanic model. Again, suits really, really well as like that character hunter theme. Okay, let's have a look at stratagems. So, Legion of Skulls is the specialist attachment stratagem that's being shown off for the World Eaters. The teeming masses of Khorne's lesser demons can shatter worlds when they are gathered in large numbers. Okay, so 1 command point. Use this stratagem when choosing your army. Pick a Khorne Chaos Demons detachment. That is a Chaos Demons detachment in which every unit has the Khorne keyword from your army to be a Legion of Skulls specialist attachment. Bloodlesser units in that detachment gain the Legion of Skulls keyword. Okay. So a little bit of a supplementary thing there, taking some demons with your Chaos Space Marines. A Warlord or Field Commander from this attachment with the Blood-Blessed Warlord trait would work well alongside a Master of Executions, making for a pretty terrifying tag team that can cut their way through even the toughest characters. So Blood-Blessed, add 1 to your Warlord's attacks characteristic. In addition, while there are enemy characters within 6 inches of your Warlord, add another 1 to your Warlord's attacks characteristic. That's actually quite fun. I do like that. I like the idea of that combination of 2 just berserk character hunters just tag teaming it around the battlefield. I like that. That's fluffy. That is fun. Okay. And of course, I've got to mention Skull Taker, because I'm pretty sure Skull Taker had a new model, didn't he? So with a ballistic skill of 2+, it'll also be a Deadeye shot with a brazen skull. A handy stratagem for picking off a vulnerable enemy unit or ridding yourself of a close combat enemy to free up your units to charge elsewhere. Please tell me it's literally just throwing a skull at someone. I've not seen this before. So, Brazen Skull. Chaos Demon stratagem, plucking the skull of an enemy from the ground. This servant of Khorne imbues it with his burning anger and hurls it at the foe. I love the fact that I saw Brazen Skull and thought, what would be the the daftest interpretation of this? Literally throwing a skull at someone. I wonder if that's what it's going to be. It is actually that. It is literally, it's like the magic pebble of 40k. Okay, so use this stratagem in your shooting phase. Pick a Legion of Skulls model from your army. Pick an enemy unit within 8 inches of this model that is visible to them and roll a d6. If the result equals or exceeds this model's ballistic skill characteristic, that enemy unit suffers d3 mortal wounds. Wow, I love the idea of chucking that at someone who's got like 3 wounds left, and you're just getting that magical max damage out of it. And the way they died was this guy literally just picked up a skull and threw it at them. I love it. I love it. It's silly. It's definitely silly, but I can't imagine the satisfaction that would bring, to be honest, just lobbing a skull at someone and it killing them instantly. That's Christ. Oh man. Okay, so to be honest, in terms of actual World Eaters, I feel like there's not been a vast amount in this one. We have their trait. There's the Master of Executions. I mean, if you look at this dude, he's clearly in the colours of the Black Legion, so the Master of Executions is obviously not a World Eaters only thing, and a significant portion of this focus has been around Daemons of Khorne, which I know Daemons of Khorne have recently had a bit of a change, has had things, updated for them, but it's not necessarily World Eaters, is it? Really? I mean, I don't know. It just this Legion one feels weird because it's all about World Eaters, but the guy they highlight is good for World Eaters, yeah, but it's not World Eaters specific, and half the focus is about Daemons of Khorne, which again, obviously World Eaters are Khorne, and so are Daemons of Khorne, but the Legion focuses feel a bit strange. They feel a little bit like there isn't enough to talk about, and so extra things are being put in to kind of make up for it in a way, which is not a great impression to get. And that's, to be honest, that's the only way I can get this, because it's like this particular focus, there's just not that much about actual World Eaters in here, which is odd because it's the World Eaters focus. And half of it is about Daemons of Khorne, and another significant chunk of it is about a model that any of the Legions or Renegade chapters can take. I mean, I'm liking what I'm seeing. Don't get me wrong. I don't dislike it, and it's a good model for sure. It's a good model, but yeah, I like the content. I'm just not entirely convinced as to why, as to it being strictly World Eaters, if that makes sense. But maybe I'm just hoping for too much. Like maybe I'm hoping that there's gonna be significant changes to the Legions, and we're just not getting that, and that's why we're getting this stuff. It's like extra models, yeah, but significant changes to rules, no, and so that's why it feels padded out with other stuff. I don't know. It's a weird one. Let me know what you think in the comments, guys. I don't know whether I'm just like overthinking it, or whether there really doesn't seem to be that much actual Legion content in these Legion specific focuses. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. In the meantime, feel free to click all around this lad's face, Patreon video, subscribe, all of that stuff. Click it if you like, don't click if you don't want to, and I will see you for the next one. Toodaloo.